Hi ladies, I am back with the second card for January's monthly club cards, and we're going to be doing the stained glass technique. Here's the card that we're going to make, and here's a picture of the recipe just in case I forget to show it to you. So we are going to use some blends. The stamp set that we're going to use is All That You Are. It's new in the Occasions catalog, and it goes with the Frosted Bouquet dies, and those were in the holiday catalog with the first Frost stamp set, and now they've retired that stamp set, kept the dies, and they coordinate with this stamp set. You can't get them in a bundle, but they do coordinate. Look at this gorgeous font. I just love the fonts in this stamp set. Anyways, we're going to use this big image to do our card today. So the stained glass technique is really quite easy. You stamp an image onto vellum using Versamark ink, and then you put white embossing powder on it and you heat it. And then you color the back of it. That's it. That's the whole technique. So I've already stamped this and colored it. So let's get this out of the way. Make sure it's still in the frame so you can see it while I'm making it. So I've already cut this out. We're going to use the stitched rectangle dies, a couple of them. There's this one, and it's not really part of the cascading, I guess you'd say, series of, there's two sets that layer together. This one is all by itself, and we're going to cut out the sentiment with that one. And then we're going to use this one, which is number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, number 6 in this series. Now see, these ones are long and skinny, and these ones are a bit shorter and fatter. And we're going to use this one. These are more for sentiments. And I'm going to cut it out with the Big Shot, just like that. And you can angle it whatever way you want. There we are. So here's the card again, and I'll let you look at that, and I'll give you a couple of minutes to write down the recipe while I go use my Big Shot. These dies are so cool because they do embossing on the inside, or sorry, stitched marks on the inside and the outside of whatever you're cutting out. So here's the die. There's what we cut off. So this is the leftovers, but can you see the stitch marks are in there as well? I hope you can see them. And then this is the part we're going to use, and it has stitch marks too. So when you look at these dies, there's, two sets of stitch marks. There's one set, and then there's a cutting part, and then there's another set. So you can make picture frames, and I've seen a lot of people will take a nice piece of cardstock that they've pre-measured and cut out one of these frames, and then put this inside it and pop it up and make kind of like a eclipse card out of it. So there's lots that you can do with these. Okay, so I'm going to put that one away, and I'm going to put this out of the frame. So now what happens is magic. We're going to use dark Highland Heather, light Cajun, oh, this is dark Cajun Craze. Oops. Oh well. We're going to use dark Cajun Craze. We're going to use dark Mango Melody, dark Blackberry Bliss, and light Old Olive. And we're going to color this. So all it means is that these flowers are going to be a little bit darker. But that's okay. We can handle it. Okay, so this is the back side, and you can tell that because if you run your fingers over it, this is bumpy from the embossing powder. So you want the back side. You don't want the embossing powder side. And then you're just going to color in the lines. And you don't have to be too particular because this stamp has some nice wide lines on it. So you can just whip the color on here. It's quite easy. Now just be careful when you go around this, because you don't want those things have got little holes in them, and I'm going to make those yellow. So you want to make sure you don't put the purple ink inside that area. But other than that, you can go over the lines that are on the middle. So I'll show you what this is starting to look like. You see what it's starting to look like? Now I do put 2 coats on here because it's not, by doing it on the vellum, you're really muting the color, and I just wanted the color to be a little bit darker. So I put 1 coat on all over and just put my pen aside, and when I go ahead and do the rest of it, then I'll come back and do another coat. Now this is the dark Mango Melody, and I'm going to do inside those stamens, and then there's stamens on all of these. I know it doesn't look like much, but it does make a difference. There. So that was Dark Mango Melody. Now I'm going to use the Cajun Craze, and I'm going to do these flowers here. And same thing. Just make sure you don't go on the outside of the white, and you're fine. Just a quick little coloring. The only thing you really need to pay attention to when you put these together is where you put your adhesive, because it will show. Okay, this is Dark Blackberry Bliss, and I'm just going to color the holes in these little flowers. See how small they are? But if you don't put color in them, they won't be colored. When you put this ink on too, it does run a bit. So just be careful that you're not putting too much on. And you see it running there while I'm putting the color on. Okay, now the light Old Olive. And if you want darker leaves, you could use the dark Old Olive, but I didn't want to. I was just doing the stems here. You can also do the light and then go over it a couple of times. See how quick this coloring is? You really don't have to take a lot of time to do it. Remember to show you. See? Look at that. Look at how pretty that is. Okay, back to coloring. The best thing is how fast it goes. As you can tell, I'm really not taking much care at all. I'm just kind of slapping that paint on. There. Oop, I didn't finish off this. I might want to do the whole stem. And you have to do all the coloring before you put it onto your card. Well, of course you do. That was a dumb thing to say. Anyways, there you go. So now that's all done, and I'm going to take the Dark Highland Heather again, and I'm just going to go over again. Just because it adds a little, it makes it a little bit darker. And if you only want the one layer, just do the one layer. It's not a big deal. It's your card. You will see a bit of coloring lines because, of course, this is vellum, so the paint doesn't soak in like it does on the white cardstock. Okay, now I'm going to turn it so that I don't go outside the lines over here. At this point, I don't want to wreck it because I'm almost done. There we go. There, made it a little bit darker. Now that is really dark because that hasn't had a chance to dry at all, so it will. It will dry a bit later. Okay, so let's put the card together while that dries. I did run out of cardstock or designer paper, so this is the, what is it called? Petal Promenade designer paper. It's the one that has the pictures of the flowers and stuff. Let me show you. So this is the designer paper, and it has a, isn't that pretty? Just look at that. Look. So I'm using the back side, and I ran out, so there's mixed designer papers in there. I'll just put adhesive on that, and then there's a, it's going on to a layer of Highland Heather. When these purples first came out, I thought, oh good Lord, what am I ever going to do with those colors? Because they looked really retro to me. And I just kept using them, and now I like them. I was watching Jeffersons the other day, and which is back from, was it the 80s maybe? They were on for 12 seasons. It was really funny because Louise Jefferson had on an outfit that was lovely lipstick and Highland Heather with a bit of gorgeous grape in it. I laughed. I thought, oh my gosh, I was right. It is, they are retro colors. Can you imagine having a blouse that's, let me get the colors for you. You got to see this. So the blouse was, let me move this out of the way, lovely lipstick, Highland Heather, and gorgeous grape. That's quite the combination. It was pretty, but not something I'd ever wear. She had gorgeous clothes on that show, though. And laugh, oh my Lord, I laughed. It was such a funny thing. BCTV has released a few of their throwbacks, they're calling them. It's nice to watch those old shows. I still have to find where I can watch Carol Burnett, though, because she's out there somewhere and I haven't found the site yet. But I will. Oh, for goodness sake. You'd think I know how to do this by now. There we go. Okay, so there's the Highland Heather and the designer paper. Now we're going to put this on here, like that. And I'm going to be putting glimmer dots here and here and there. So I think I'm going to put glue dots underneath that. And I discovered that you can't put adhesive underneath this part of the flower because it shows. Duh. I just got a piece of tape that was too big. So I'm going to put it right where the white is, and hopefully that'll hide it. And then I'm going to put some, down here where it's going to be covered by the sentiment. And then get my glue dots. And we'll put one under here, like that. And then I'm going to take one and I'm just going to fold it over because that one is not quite as big. So that one I'm going to put right here because I'm going to put another glimmer dot there. And then there'll be one down here. Right there. So then we put this on here. And if you want, you could put some Tombow or something, little dots of it behind those white flowers, and just let it dry clear before you put it on the before you attach it to the designer paper. And I'm trying to find my glimmer dots. There they are. I knew they were around here somewhere. Okay. Now I used a small, second small, third small. Those are the three I used. But I'm going to use this one down here. And then I'm going to use this one up here. And I'm going to use this one here. There. Just to use up those glimmer dots so you can see what it looks like with just the big ones in. But you'll be able to choose whatever color you want. You can use the green ones too if you want. Or the pink or the blue. Doesn't matter to me what you use. I love glimmer dots. They are amazing. Okay. Now I need to do the sentiment. So there's the piece on the happy birthday. I'm going to stamp it in Calypso Coral, which is this color. And this is the new happy birthday from the same set. Oh, okay. I think I have to ink my ink pad up. That's better. So I will re-ink that pad. So there, look at the font on that. Look, look, look. Oh, I love it. Okay, so I'm going to quickly go over to the Big Shot and I'm going to cut that off. So while I'm doing that, I'll just put these two here so that you can see the difference. This is the dark Cajun Craze and this is the light Cajun Craze. There is a bit of a difference, but not much. I feel like I should be doing the Jeopardy song or something. Do 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 do. Okay. Look, just look. Let me dig that back out. Because now I can really show you what the stitch marks do on these. So there's, oops, it's upside down. Hang on. There's the offcut, the part we're not using from here, and it did the stitch marks around the outside. And then here's the one we're using, and you have stitch marks on the inside. So look at that. You can even put it on, if you did it properly, cut it the right size, and stuck it in the middle. I would probably cut it out first and then put the stamp on it, but if it was straight, you could even do it like that and have double stitching around it. Oh my lord, ladies, you're going to love these dies. Okay. My dimensionals are in a mess at the moment. Okay. So I'm going to put one in each corner. And there's where I put that tape, so I want to make sure that that's where I put my sentiment so that it hides that tape. And I think I'm going to see how this one, I've got it kind of centered there. I think I'm just going to move this one over a bit so that it's half on, half off. There we are. Card's done. Now, the inside. This is the inside. This is another stamp from the same stamp set. So there it is there. There's some leaves. There's these flowers. Though there's also dies to cut those out. I should show you the die set. Hang on. I'll dig it out so you can see it. Where are you? There you are. Okay, this is the Frosted Bouquet dies. There's 13 dies in here. There's a couple of sentiment cutouts, but they were a bit big for what I wanted to use, so I didn't use them. So they layer together. You can cut that, and then you can cut this one, and you can have a frame. It's really cool. There's a couple of flowers that you can cut out, and these match this flower here. So there's two dies that match the same flower. And then there's this die here. Wait, I've got it upside down. There you go. That matches that flowers. There's not a die for this, but there is some leaf dies, and this is another die. Look at that. Oh, love it. Oh, I sounded like Don Griffith there. These are not fitting in here, so I think I'm just going to take one and put it up there. I sounded a lot like Don Griffith there. Love it. I know. You can see the silhouettes of those when you come to class, and if you are out of town and you want to see the silhouettes, let me know and I'll send you a picture of it. Okay, so we're going to use Highland Heather. And this stamp to do some flowers on the inside. And you can do one or two or a whole trail of them, whichever makes you happy. So there's the inside, and do the envelope too. Let's put 2 on that, and then I'm going to stick a couple back here just because it looks so pretty. Like that. Okay, now put some adhesive on the back of this one. Got one more card. I'm hoping to get it done tonight. It's only 7:30, so things are looking up. I should be able to get the 3rd one done tonight, and then I can get them posted, and there we are. Envelope, card, envelope. See, I put more on this one, but I didn't do it on the back. Oh, look, I sat it down on the ink pad. There's the 2 cards. So this one uses dark Cajun Craze, and this one uses the light Cajun Craze. This one has big glimmer dots, and that one's got the 3 smaller glimmer dots. So there we are. I hope you enjoyed it. Those of you that live out of town, Joyce, I colored yours for you because it doesn't look to me like you have the blends, and you need to use blends. You can't use the regular markers because they'll just wipe right off of the vellum because it's like a plastic paper. And Shanna, you have ordered some blends, so I didn't color yours so that you can color your image yourself. I did do the embossing though. Okay, ladies, it was lovely spending time with you in my craft room, and I hope that you're having a wonderful day. Bye for now.